I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Yikes. Yikes. Oh my goodness. Are you all here, child? As soon as I hung up with y'all, got off the live, shortly after that, it came out. Diddy has been denied bond. He is considered a threat to the community. The judge did take in consideration those letters written by the victim herself, Cassie Ventura, members of Cassie Ventura's team, her hairdresser. The prosecutors wrote scathing letters, more than one, basically saying, even CNN is shocked, basically saying that this man should not be let out. They are going to fight to make sure that he does some years. If this is what they're saying, that he is a threat, they're going to fight to make sure he does some years. I was sharing with you guys a little while ago that I thought that maybe he would be able to walk, that maybe he's already done 9 months. Some of you said 10 months, that the judge might give him a very, not that steep of a sentence. But it looks like people are still saying they fear for their life, despite the fact that the jury did not take the testimony seriously. And yes, oh my goodness, come on through. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for coming back. Hey, Pisces Life. Wow, this case will not be final until October. He is in jail for the holidays, child. Now, the jury wanted to get home for Independence Day, but they have left. Well, they might have thought that Sean Combs was coming home too, unfortunately for him and his crimes, child. He will be in there until October. And I am sure he is reeling. Okay. Everybody walked out of there when they made the announcement, not guilty on racketeering, not guilty on trafficking. The gallery cheered. They clapped for this man. They thought that he was being railroaded. Sean Combs himself got on his knees and leaned his head against his chair with his hands in prayer. People who saw it, who witnessed it in the courtroom, said you could tell that he was saying in his mind over and over again, thank God, thank God, thank God. He wasn't moving his mouth, because y'all remember last time the judge said to him, if he saw him communicating with the jury at all, making head nods and shit like that, he said, I will kick your ass out of here and we'll do this trial without you. So he was aware of what those judges' orders was. And they said that you could still see that he was thanking God in his mind when they announced not guilty on the charge that would have given him life in prison, and that is racketeering. And then the not guilty on the trafficking, basically saying, we think that the women that you were with, that it was a mutual arrangement. We don't believe that they did anything against their will. We believe that you're an abuser, but we don't believe that they did anything against their will. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for coming through. We are talking about Diddy being denied bond, child. Denied, denied, denied. Amen. Keep the evil off the streets. Good evening, Brenda. Welcome to the chat. He has another hearing on July 8th. Okay, so Teresa said that he has another hearing on July 8th, and we shall see what happens then. I saw in the chat it said October, so I was taking their word for it. I'm surprised after the unexpected verdict. I am glad that the victims had an impact. Fear for their coochie. Okay. Okay. He's going to do time at least 10 years. So the judge who at the beginning, from everything that I have read and heard, when they were in court and Diddy's lawyer, this is supposedly a very young lawyer, one who everybody's like, this little dude he knows his shit. They said that the youngest lawyer on the defense team was running circles around the seasoned prosecutors for that was working for the government. They said that little boy knew his case law. Even when people on his team, the ones who have been doing this forever, was getting up and saying things, they said he would just get up on his own, put his finger out and say, wait a minute, according to blah, 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 start rattling off those penal codes, rattling off case law. And they said that the teams were literally sitting there in awe of this young kid. He was one who had gotten up and said, yeah, he needs to go home, from what I'm understanding, child. It was October, but they requested it to be expedited. And so they moved the date from October to the 8th, July 8th, which is Monday. That's around the corner. They want this shit over with. They said that they probably fear that he can't do any more days, that's something to fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes things get too heavy. So they're probably trying to save his life, if you know what I'm saying. He's probably in a space where he wants out, or he wants to know what the rest of his life is going to look like, right? October 3rd sentencing date, but a hearing date has been scheduled for the 8th to expedite the sentencing. Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Karma's going to catch up with him. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Some people are saying, thank you, Jesus. Now, if y'all was in the last live, y'all would have saw a lot of people saying, let that man go. Why is he still in jail? He should be at home. Men and women were feeling the same. But let's talk about it. Let's look at some of the stuff that's going on here. I saw it first on Spiritual World. Breaking: Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail while awaiting his sentence, right? Awaiting sentencing in his ex-crime case. So he was denied bail following a mixed verdict in the case. But what the judge basically said was, although he was acquitted of racketeering X charges, Combs was convicted on the 2 counts of transporting individuals under the Mann Act, which does carry up to 10 years in prison. He said that those were very serious charges and they should be taken seriously. Prosecutors stressed that Combs remains a flight risk. So the prosecutor said, I don't care what y'all say about having his passport or that his plane has been grounded, all of that shit. They said at the end of the day, he still has access. He is a billionaire. He can travel wherever he wants. As far as they know, he might have an underground tunnel at that house over there on Star Island, and he may, dig his way out. They said that under no circumstances should he be allowed to do bond at home. And the judge apparently agreed with it. They said that his homes and his private planes are still available, even if they're grounded. They also noted that he has a pattern of violent behavior. The judge pointed to testimony and to evidence of domestic violence and coercion. He said that this seems to be true for most of his relationships, including footage showing him being physically violent with his ex-girlfriends. He said that all of those he took into account, along with witnesses and the community. So those letters of impact, they definitely did what they were supposed to do. So he said no. Again, I'm not saying that this shouldn't be but what I am saying, because I know a lot of people like to say, well, we shouldn't care about what the white people do. We should care about what everybody does, because what everybody does affects you. It affects you too. You will always get the short end of the stick if you're not paying attention to how everybody else is handled. Let's see. I always felt that the judge isn't playing with Diddy. My guess is that he's going to be sentenced to the 20 years, the total 20 years. They are trying to get him out of MDC and into better facility or camp. Yes, they want him in a camp that's not so, I guess, harsh. That's why they expedited his case from October to July 8th, they're having that second hearing. I wonder how those crazy Diddy fans outside the courthouse well, child, yes, I have not seen footage of that yet, but my guess is that they're acting a fool right now. When you have money, you can get away with anything. I'm reading the comments. Someone else said, if he is not being charged with DV, then why are they using that to determine his bail? Like the attorney on CNN said, he will eventually get out and he more than likely won't do anywhere near 10 years. Yeah, that is yeah. Yeah, I agree. You got to take that in consideration. Yes, Diana, we should care about what everyone else does. Monica, if you listen to me, girl, I say it all the time. We love to talk about what we do, but if y'all don't start paying attention to what everybody do, you will always lose. You will always lose. And there's people who count on it, okay? Who count on it. They count on us keeping our eyes only on one part of what's going on in the world. That's all there is to it. The judge made the right call. People should thank God that Diddy served. He has not been sentenced yet, Denise. Keep that in mind. He's only being held until sentencing. And from what it sounds like, on the 8th, which is Monday, they are looking to put him in a lesser. So I guess he's serving in what's considered, I guess, maximum security. They want that to be reduced. They want him to go someplace that's a little lighter than where he is right now. Remember, folks, the judge is not the jury. Okay. Again, we got to pay attention to everybody. Hey, Lady D Keys, thank you for coming back, girl. Let me put you up here. She is our moderator. It's the judge that makes that decision. And we also have to consider if the judge oversteps his bounds with sentencing, they could still, people can file that paperwork to see if they can lighten it up. They can have it go to a Supreme Court following that. I said celebrating too early, still guilty of 2 charges. Well, I hope it wasn't, y'all didn't think I was celebrating. I kept saying he has 2 charges that he has to go up for, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Legal constraints under federal law. The judge did note that even with reduced charges, the federal bail statute still permits denial when there's credible risk for flight or he's considered a danger or both. And in this case, the judge said Combs is both. Combs is both. So just so you know, he said, I consider him a flight risk. I also consider him to be dangerous to the community, to the victims that are still out there, worried about what's going to happen next, right? So he remains detained. Sean Combs remains detained pending sentencing, which has not been scheduled. Again, he faced a maximum of 20 years in prison, 10 years per count. Though his defense projects he will most likely receive a 2-year sentence with credit for time served, while the prosecutors are actually advocating for 4 to 5 years. So even though he could get 20, the prosecutors are saying we'll accept 4 to 5 years. And this is their case. While the defense says at the minimum 2 with time served for the 9 or 10 or 11 months he's already been in jail. Okay. Nikki says that there should be an appeal. Child Diddy ain't learned nothing in those 10 months. The judge made the right call. Okay. The jury celebrated a bigger monster, or the jury created a bigger monster. He looks like a crazy-eyed, what? A social or psychopath in that picture. Diddy requested to speak to the judge in a hearing now. The judge is considering listening. Oh, wow. Really, Nikki? Sure. Hold on. So this is what is going on right now, you guys. People were expecting him to walk. A lot of people expected him to walk right out of the courtroom following the verdicts read by the judge, the jury verdict. They expected him to walk out of the courtroom right then. The judge asked the defense, "Are y'all crazy? Do you know the pandemonium this would cause if he walked out of this courtroom?" He was actually shocked at the request. They said, "Absolutely, let him walk. This man's life has been on the line. Today, he found out that he did not have to serve the rest of his days in prison." And the judge sat and like listened to him. He humored him. He looked at him and was like, "Okay, let me hear what y'all got to say." And they fought it back and forth. And he said, "Listen, clearly the prosecutor is not prepared to discuss a sentence right now. I know you want to get out, but we have to take you back. We have to take you back to that to the prison. We'll let you sit there for a little bit. We'll bring you back. We'll let you know what's going to happen at 5 o'clock. I promise you, all of the wind was let out of his balloon." Okay. I'm sure he went back to that courthouse on cloud 9. You hear me? I bet you he thought there's no way he could be denied. He probably would have been praying, went and took a little whole bath real quick, cleaned himself up. Cleaned himself up, you know what I'm saying? Got back in that damn van, only to be told, see you in a few months, okay? See you in a few months. Period. Let's see. He will come out and beat and drag women again. Why don't everyone feel the same way about the orange man who is holding a key to the US, basically the world? Teresa, girl, from your mouth to God's ears, we all should worry about all of these cases. The guy from Abercrombie and Fitch, we should be paying attention to his shit. This man was in charge of lots of young men who wanted to be models. He was doing the same type of parties all over, not just within the US, but outside. It was international tomfoolery, okay? And he is somewhere right now sitting next to a beach. He's on the beach, okay? Why? We should all feel this way. We should have been writing letters, all of us, for them young men who were taken advantage of, and asking the judge then, put that man behind bars and let his ass sit, okay, until he's done, until he cooks all the way. Let's see. Anyway, he's back where he is in the pokey. Back to the pokey you go. He's back in the pokey right now. I'm sure crying his eyes out. I'm sure he's crying his eyes out. His family left the courtroom. His mom, all of his family left the courtroom, happy, excited, waving to fans. Could not keep the smiles off their faces. Okay, you couldn't have erased them if you wanted to. Diddy literally got on his knees when he was inside the courtroom and said, "I'm coming home." He thanked God. He asked for permission to speak, actually. Do I have permission to speak to my family before you take me back to holding? And he was given permission, and he said, "I'm coming home. I'm coming home." Okay, so he was on cloud 9. If you would have told that man when he was standing there, "You're not coming home," he wouldn't have believed you. He wouldn't have believed you. If you would have asked him to put every dollar that he has left, okay, he's still got $1 billion and some change, to put every dollar that he has left on the fact that he would not be locked up, he would have did it. Okay, that he was coming home, he would have given it to him. But he has been locked up. I asked you guys in a poll at the top of the chat what your thoughts were. I said, are you shocked that he was denied bail? 28% of you said yes. 66% of you said no, that was what you expected, that he would be denied. And 7% of you said you are on the fence. So let's see. Judge said no, adjourn for the day. Nope, adjourn for the day. So from what I'm understanding, this is a very young judge. He's taking his judgeship seriously. I was curious if he would fold. Or if he would listen to what everybody had to say about it. And it looks like He wants to be taken seriously as a judge. He does not want to be seen as a fan, a stan, okay, of Sean Combs. He wants to be taken seriously. He's no Judge Ito, okay? Diddy is not a threat. He wants to be home with his family. They're using Diddy as a distraction. Because Trump did, that means Diddy can too. That's not what I said. I don't know if that's how you heard it, but that's not what I said. What I said was, if people want there to be fairness in how people are sentenced and in crime, you have to do across the board the same for all. So demand it for everyone. Grape is grape. We, for whatever reason, we don't hold everybody to the same standards. I'm not sure why, but when we don't, it affects certain communities a lot worse. And that's across all things, whether it's robbery, stealing a slice of bread, whatever the case may be. You steal a slice of bread because you're hungry, somebody's prone to cut your hand off and tell you you deserve it. But in another community, that would be considered overkill, and the other person might be, prosecuted as opposed to the person that stole a piece of bread. Unfortunately, the law can't be treated fairly unless we're all involved in it. That is what everybody should actually, want, I would think. But it's crazy that we don't. It's crazy that we're okay with saying, keep kicking down in our community and leave everybody else okay. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. The same victims are out there for all of them, all of the victims. I would think that the president, for instance, he has a very long-reaching arm. There's a lot of things that he could do to people in the seat that he sits in, the power that he has, but we don't seem to care, and it does not. I don't understand why. All the stuff that you're saying about these victims applies to all victims. It applies to all victims. So I don't mind if you take that's conversation to somebody else's house, but not in my house. I never said that. I have always said from the day this case started that we should be paying attention to every one of these criminals that has been charged with this shit. And it was shocking to me that nobody gave a damn about anybody else. You won't get treated the same unless you give the same concern to the other nasty shit that other people do. Those are the facts. You want to be involved in everybody else's stuff, or involved in our community stuff, be involved in all of it, because what happens outside of our community affects our community most. And I've heard other YouTubers saying that. We got to read books before they make it illegal again. They said taking it back to 1735. Very soon we gonna have some problems, child. Why Robert Kraft not arrested? He a billionaire. He on video soliciting prostitution, massaging in a massage place. He was never arrested. He even dropped the case of the video. Zero black media covered it. Only covered. I think I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Is it Brian? Agreed, sir. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Same thing. I said this. I'll say it over and over and over and over again. We got to pay attention to everybody's shit because they pay attention to us, child. They don't. Everybody is involved in this case. Nobody was involved in Robert Kraft's case. Exactly. Everybody ignored it. He's an old man. What can he do now? Child, pay attention to everybody. Let's see what else y'all got. Thank y'all for coming in and talking to me. Hit the like button and I will get to your comments. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. The mic drop. The feds scared he's going to do witness tampering or retaliate, dude got money. I don't think he's going to go after any witnesses. Feel better now. Go back to jail, sir. Free Diddy. You're sick, man. As a black man, he's disgusting. I don't F with him. He's a clown. What's up, Gloria? Welcome to the chat. The government's going to treat him just like Tupac. They don't like people who has power and money. David, you're right. Pay attention. Pay attention to everything. Right now, we are in the most sensitive time in America since the 1820s. Our rights are being pulled from up under us every single solitary day. Okay? By the time we are done with these 4 years, because really, we're not even 6 months in. We're not even 6 months in, and everything is being driven to a place where we have less rights, less everything. They're building more prisons. They have a right to ship out natural citizens to other countries to do jail time. Let it make sense to y'all. Imagine if there was a jury of your peers who had to make a decision about whether or not you're free right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta really think about this. Think about what's truly fair and make sure that we are watching how the law is applied across the board to all communities, not just ours. Again, we've always been the most affected when it came to the law, but we got to make sure it's applied to everybody. We should be writing letters when we see this horrible shit happening all over. We should be just as loud. Let's see. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Sean Combs, P. Diddy Combs, has been denied bond. The judge has said that he believes him to be both a flight risk and a danger to the community. Letters were written not just by the prosecutors, who said that he definitely should stay behind bars until sentencing, but letters were also written by the victim, Cassie Ventura, who was victim number one, considered their most important victim. She wrote a letter and asked that he remain behind bars. Her stylist wrote a letter and asked that he remains behind bars. So we shall see what happens next. P. Diddy had a dream team. He had a dream team. The defense team was very well qualified, well versed. They fought for him tooth and nail. They got him off on a life sentence. So believe me, those men and women will be paid. I heard that the female defense attorney broke down in tears. Okay. So there was a lot of emotion in that courtroom. Cassie is not afraid of Diddy. And Jane Doe didn't even come forward until she saw Cassie getting paid. If I was Diddy, July 1st would be the last rent payment for Jane Doe. Okay. Little Don said, it's the feds. He has to do a year and a day, and then he will come home. Kind of like the T.I. Fed case. Okay. We still need to pay attention to everyone. What's up, Joshua? Joshua said he needs to do his time, period. Even if he gets out, he's history. He will never have the respect, and no one is going to support him because the world knows the truth. Okay? I do agree that this is going to follow him all the way to his grave, for sure. I don't think that the legacy that he's built, it is definitely, it's mud now. And it's going to follow his children also. So everybody. Mark Best said, for real, he's done too much to F things up. Got it. Unbiased Truth said, even though he's going back for now, he still won. Hi, haters. Free Diddy. So there is different opinions. There's different opinions. Just so y'all know, we should complain. We should complain. Listen, we love to write a letter and complain, child. Let's start writing letters and complaining where it counts so that we can make sure that the law is applied fairly across the board. The jury heard everything. They heard things that we didn't hear. Why would anyone think that the jury got it wrong? They know way more than we do. Okay. A lot of people, let me put this up here. You think that the reason why he's in trouble, your handle is I wish you would 70, is because of the liquor giant. There are a lot of people out here who believe that P. Diddy went up against one of those big liquor manufacturers. And because of that, I think he tried to sue them or something, that they pulled the trigger on him. You listen, it's not that this is not plausible, because it is. Usually you don't find this stuff out until years later. Maybe our generation won't hear it, but the generations underneath us will. We know that people set people up like this. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. Even Diddy's lawyer said he's a fighter. He will show up and fight you. Okay. I would stop paying for Jane's apartment immediately. Some do learn from their mistakes. I pray that he has learned something. Frankly, I don't think that Diddy is going to do anything to anyone, because I believe that he was shook when he couldn't get the bond. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. There are people that do learn from their mistakes. There are people that go to jail, spend a couple of years behind bars, come home, and they've turned their life around. There are people like that. I knew someone, God rest his soul, he has passed away, but he was one of the most awesome people I have ever met in my life. And I had no idea he had spent some time in prison. Okay. I had found out later. And I was just sitting there with my mouth open, like, what? He had started a business. He would do construction. He would employ people who would just get out of prison. So he knew how hard it was for people, and he would help them, show them a trade, help them, get their lives on track. He was a mentor to them. It was just, there are people out there that are able to turn their lives around, that get it. So there is a reason for it. And sometimes people get it, sometimes people don't. The 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1791, prohibits excessive bail, excessive fines, and cruel and unusual punishments. It aims to prevent the government from imposing an unjust punishment. Okay. That's Miss Shantae. Thank you. She is definitely letting us know that she thinks that if Diddy is to get a harsh sentence, that perhaps his lawyers will file something to keep that from happening, and that people should not be seeking that. I wonder if Jane Doe deliberately helped to tank the prosecution, given that she was still on Diddy's unofficial payroll. He done turned out the men in hip hop. It's not the same. Oh my goodness. Bring back the Big Daddy Kane types. Child, the way I was in love with Big Daddy Kane. Oh, I really thought we were going to get married when I was a child. Let's see. I just read what the judge said. I just read the sentences from my page. That he is considered a flight risk, and that he is considered a danger to the community. Those are the two things that he had to make a decision on. That's what I read. You're saying that's not what the judge said. The judge said it was a mandate from the charges that is a case law requisite. Okay. He did ask both. So just so that we can make sure that we're on the same page. He asked the prosecutors and the defense to both write letters explaining their position on why he should be released and why he shouldn't be released. The prosecutors definitely use that he's a flight risk and that he is a danger to the community for their reasons. They didn't say anything about case law requisite. Let's see. Neither one of them. When Diddy settled the case with Cassie, folks thought that Diddy was weak and scared to fight any case filed against him. This is true. Now, this is true. When that happened, there were so many people coming out saying that he wouldn't, excuse me, he wouldn't last a day, give him about a week, maybe a month, and he'd take himself out. There were a lot of people who have come out in the aftermath of all this and gave all these stories about who they thought this man was and things that they witnessed him do. Right? Everybody, people was popping up all over, child. Um, let's see. I'm not going to stay on as long as I did a little while ago. But he still has a lot to fight, whether he gets out or not, whether he's given 2 years or 4 years. The prosecutors, according to what I'm reading, is asking for time between 4 to 5 years. He could receive up to 20. The judge could completely ignore the recommendation from the prosecutors and do, all 20 years. That's possible. The judge has that power. The defense team is saying no more than 2 years. So they're basically saying Diddy knows he may have to do time. And we're asking that he's given no more than 2 years with credit for time served. So a year and a few months, maybe. Okay. So Diddy is actually he's aware that he may have to do some time. Erica, child, I'll have to tell you, me and my husband went to go see Big Daddy Kane. I acted a foolio, okay? That's the truth. He was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Please, I'm trying to get my time back." Um, So yeah, there's a lot of people, and there are a lot of opportunists that's still coming for him. People are filing lawsuits still right now. They are still filing lawsuits, still filing lawsuits. The Ghetto Boys, Mind of a Lunatic. I saw the Ghetto Boys too, child. Oh my goodness, I used to be such a damn rap head. I've seen everybody. Um, But yeah, that is it. So we shall see what happens next. Let's see how many people pull back with all those stories that were out there. Let's see how many people pull back with their accusations. Let's see what people start doing if they start moving different. Parties from 2015, folks were trying to file cases like they remember what happened. Diddy should get life. He's poison to the community. Okay. Okay. So look, y'all can read those comments. Some of y'all are still divided on whether this man is guilty or innocent, whether the victims really suffered or not. I hear you. But right now, you guys, bond has been denied. He has a case on Monday. The judge will hear it. I guess that they'll make a decision of whether or not he spends the rest of his time at the current facility or if he will be moved to one that's less, that's not the maximum prison, that has a little bit more freedom to it. And that is all. Okay. I appreciate every single one of y'all who came over today, though. I saw a lot of new people in the chat. Thank y'all. Hit the like button and share the video. Become a subscriber right now. And y'all keep talking about it. And don't stop talking about this case. Talk about all of them. All of them need eyes on it. All of them needs public attention. We should be talking about them all. That's the only way we all get a fair trial. Okay. But outside of that, y'all, thank you so much. Hit the like button, share the video. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. And I'll check you on the next one. Bye-bye.